Hello and welcome. So this is a tag video, the friends tag, and I was tagged by Ross from Scully Danling about the books, and I just searched the video again just to look at the prompts, and I'm surprised I was tagged actually 5 months ago. It has been a while since I last did a tag video. Well, actually, 2 videos ago was actually a tag video, but then again, 2 videos ago was about 2 to 3 weeks ago. So yeah, it has been quite a while. But anyway, let's start with this tag. I am going to also just kind of use books that I would recommend. So it's going to be kind of like a recommendations of my recent reads. I would use those books as the answer of the majority of the questions right here. So yeah, let's start with the first one. Each of the prompts would be corresponding to the words in friends, Friends. So the first one is F for friendship. Name a book with a strong friendship in it. So I am going to recommend If I Had Your Face by Frances Cha. This was quite surprising to me because I had low expectation with this book, but it surprised me. I really liked it. I really loved the tone. Basically what this book is about, it is about the stories of 4 different young women in modern Korean society, and each of them had to deal with different kind of struggles. You have a woman who works at a room salon. You have a mute woman who works as a hairdresser. You also have someone who is a young woman who is a graduate of an art school in the US, and also the 4th character is a woman who is trying to get pregnant, but she is not really in the best financial situation with her husband. So you see how these stories, the stories of these women, they develop, and how they kind of their lives are kind of converging with one another, which I think is really fascinating. In general, the themes of this book is about women's struggle in South Korea, and it actually touches upon stuff like K-pop obsession, plastic surgery, which were the things that made me think that this book was going to be quite shallow, but turned out it wasn't. At least that's what I think. It didn't feel shallow to me. It felt quite honest, and it also showed how lives can be dramatically different for people just because they are of different gender and different class. And overall, it was a really nice read. And yes, it does feature strong friendships in it, and I think that's a really nice part in that book. So next one is Real Life. R for Real Life, a non-fiction book that you want to read. So this is not a recommendation, but rather something that I saw somewhere on Instagram from Karen Evans' Bookstagram feed. She is also a booktuber, so I'm gonna link her channel down below. So it's called The Unidentified, Mythical Monsters, Alien Encounters, and Our Obsession with the Unexplained. Pretty long title by Colin Dickey. And the main reason is just because I am fascinated with these kinds of topics that deals with paranormal stuff, unexplainable stuff, I don't know, spooky kind of stuff. But I am more fascinated by these kinds of things when there are sociological, historical, and maybe even scientific studies being done that concerns these kinds of things, because I always feel that these things, they do not appear out of nowhere. They do not appear out of a vacuum. There will always be something that is going on within a society that causes these things to appear in the narrative of the society. And I'm just really fascinated with that one, because it kind of shows how people, they kind of become, as a society, collectively, for whatever reason, kind of creatively able to come up with some kind of narrative that, where these kinds of weird stuff come out. And it's just so interesting. I really like something that deals with that. So hopefully this book, if I were able to get to it, would have that kind of element in it. So yeah, that's for nonfiction. Next is I for indie author, a book by an indie author. So for this one, I would like to recommend a book by a Malaysian author, Shih-Li Kow. It's called The Sum of Our Follies, which was something that I read last year, and I made a video review for this book as well. This was also a surprise favorite for me, even though I do think that the title is quite interesting. I really like how the title sounds like it's so dramatic. But really, this story, I wouldn't say that it is very dramatic. It's not even melodramatic. This story is about the life in a small country, in a small town in Malaysia. And it kind of shows how life in a small town can be quite affected by the politics outside of it, but at the same time managed to be quite isolated, managed to be quite disconnected from those things as well. So it's like both of those simultaneously, so it's kind of interesting. It highlights a lot of the more topical current issues that happen in Malaysia, and how that town is actually kind of, like I said before, both affected and kind of disconnected from all of those things as well. And at the same time, there is also a subplot, a domestic fiction subplot that involves family reconnecting in this story. So I think it's really, really nice. I really like both of those elements in this book. Something that I would really, really recommend if you are interested in starting maybe in with Malaysian literature. This is published, I think it was in 2013 or 2012, so it's quite, or maybe 2014, I can't remember, so it's quite recent. So yeah, next one is E for Endings, a book where the ending made you scream. So I have never screamed before after reading an ending of a book, but I would say that there was a book that really surprised me when I got to the end, and that was Kim Jiyoung, born 1984, or was it? No, Kim Jiyoung, born 1982, by Nam-Joo. The edition that I read was translated from the English into the Korean by Chang. And since we're talking about the ending, let me just say that I screamed inside. Well, I didn't really scream inside. It was more like a gasp. I gasped inside. A dramatic gasp, but a gasp still, And so that's how the ending was for me. And I hope that if you are interested in reading this book, if you ever get to this book, expect that ending. Yeah, that ending is... Next one is N. New book that you can't wait to buy. New book that I can't wait to buy. I'm not sure if new book refers to books that are going to be published or books that were just published recently. But I'm going to go with books that have been published, because I am not really on the lookout for future releases. I don't know any future releases. So as for the a new book that I really want to read, that would be Barn 8 by Olin Unferth. The reason being that this book has auditors in it, and it also has chickens. So yeah, I think if your book has auditors and chickens, I would definitely be interested in reading your book. And I think it's a really nice combination. It's as if someone filled in a Mad Lib template and decided to, you know, pick an occupation, auditor, pick an animal, chicken, and then you come up with this book. So I am so attracted to that premise. I think it's going to be kind of like a heist novel, where these auditor characters are going to make a plan to steal a bunch of chickens from a barn, from a farm somewhere. So yeah, great stuff. I hope it's going to be great. Really love the premise. Really adorable, honestly. So yeah, next prompt would be D for dark. A book which has dark themes. I've read a few books with dark themes. Depending on how you interpret dark. So I am going to recommend something that I read recently. What was it called? Oh my gosh, I can't really remember. All My Puny Sorrows by Miriam Toews. I read it sometime in March, and it was beautiful. It was really, really beautiful. So it's about these two sisters, and one of the sisters, she is struggling with depression and suicidal tendencies. And her sister is fighting really hard, working really hard to take care of this struggling sister. And this book is actually written in a way that is quite nonchalant. It's quite sweet. You can even feel the sunshine in this book. It feels kind of almost sunny. But at the same time, the theme of this book is just quite dark. Obviously, because of the subject matter that this novel deals with, you know, depression, mental illness, suicide, and all of that. So it is really, really dark and gloomy throughout, but at the same time, it's also quite sunny, you know, almost cheery. It's not cheery in the sense that everything is great, but it's cheery in the sense that there's this lingering sense of gloom, and it almost feels like a dark comedy, black comedy of sorts. But you can feel that there is genuine element of happiness in this book. So it's kind of like how in moments of struggle or hardships or sadness, that the person would try to just grasp all of the bits, all of the happy bits that they could, and all of those happy bits became sweeter when juxtaposed against the backdrop of all those nasty, shitty stuff. So I think that's kind of the impression that I got from this book. It's just so beautiful, but at the same time it's kind of sad. But really recommend this one. And for the last one, share the love and tag some of your favorite channels. So for this one, I am going to tag from Gigging for Lit. I'm also going to tag A Little Book Life, and also Go Read Yourself. So that's it for this video. I hope you have a nice day, and I'll see you again in the next one. So until then, take care. Thanks for watching, and bye. Oh, and I actually forgot that there is a bonus prompt for this one. So it is show a gift from a friend or frog that's special to you. I have never had any frog given me any gift, so I am going to show you a gift from my friend, and that is this pen with this really cute door at this the stem right here. So I can't use this pen anymore. It ran out of ink, but I used to use it, and yeah, this pen is just so smooth. Everything just come out naturally. Yeah. Anyway, I just think that this pen is really cute, and I'm feeling really awkward about talking about this pen. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye bye.